Right. Okay. Welcome to. It's more like this is not supposed to be like a definitive guide, but like more of like an insight commentary. This time not live commentary like my last run. So hopefully I'll be a lot more concise this time because I think the last time I used my voice on this channel was for my Star Wars live commentary run. I'm pretty sure at least. And of course like the chair rush and all that stuff, but this is going to be about Birdcage, and my it's going to be including both my runs. It's going to be mostly catered towards my normal 500 million, which is the highest run at the moment. But then the game's still like not too long out, so it's whatever. And also my hard mode 500 million, and both of these runs are full chains, and I'll be explaining like different score mechanics. And again, what I meant by being more catered towards the normal mode was because like I'll explain some differences. Like that's why I have the hard mode video up, like because like there's quite a few differences, but normal has a lot more scoring capabilities or like scoring tech, and hard mode is more catered towards just surviving because the bullets are very fast and it feels like gambling half the time. But yeah, to quickly explain the mechanics is that like you have a sword and you have a gun. Um, the gun doesn't do that much damage, but it has a spread shot and a focus shot, and your sword does like way more damage. So you want to be using your sword as much as possible, and you'll see me mostly using that in this run, and using the gun on smaller popcorn enemies where it's just not that safe to just get up in enemies' faces. And of course, the scoring in this game, to explain, is you want to build a chain as high as possible, and how you build a chain is by just killing enemies with your sword or your gun, either works. And you want to get as high as possible because towards the end of the game, we'll be using our chain to farm a lot of medals, which give you a score based on your chain, and then our score will basically explode in the final stage, if that makes sense. There's one way to lose the chain, is that's by losing HP points, specifically HP points, which I'll just skip forward and show here. Like these free HP points, you can pick up a upgrade which gives you a shield, which if you lose that shield, you don't lose your chain, so you actually can still take a few hits during the game. So it's not a completely no-hit run, but it's like a no-damage run. Yeah, it's just like a couple things to keep in mind to get off the bat. And of course, I'll explain more things as the run goes on. And this is not more normal mode. We're to start off. If you even want to score, do not pick the second ship. You just want to pick the hard. There is a second ship in the game. It's just there, to be honest. It's like the whole game is about like being using a sword, but it doesn't have a sword. So yeah, don't pick it unless you like it. If you enjoy it, play the ship. But if you want to score, you sadly can't play it. But yeah, now, to start off this run, like a lot of this run will be quite simple. Well, at the start at least. Like here, it's just like there'll be like one row of enemies from the top. As you see, it's do that. You want to throw your sword away and then just hold your sword at the top. You don't have to swing it like me. You can just hold it at the top. And it's really straightforward. And yeah, there's just going to be more lines of these popcorn here. Again, this is straightforward. You want to keep using your sword. After these will be some block sections. There's a secret coin in the middle one. But yeah, and also here's one thing I show here as well is when you point blank in this game, you actually do have like a sword property. It doesn't do as much damage as your sword. You can see I do it here where you can just sit at the top and quickly kill these walls as they come to you. Of course, don't sit at the very top because I think they're invincible when they're up here, but then they don't become invincible when they're like just below the timer. But right after that, there'd be like some circles coming in, you just sword them, they die instantly. Now, I see a lot of people use their sword in this section. I think the sword is a trap in this section. I honestly just use my focus fair to kill them. It does feel fun to use the sword, but it's really dangerous and they make you do some very tight dodges. And yeah. Right after that, there'd be this big tank enemy. Again, it's rather self-explanatory, it's just, you just kill it. This shit shoots at you, and then there's these wave of popcorn. But then there'll be like these revenge builds enemies. They always shoot in the same 8 directions, these revenge builds physically. And for these enemies as well, like it's really simple. Of course, it's stage 1, you're going to be hearing a lot of it's really simple, but later on, we won't be hearing much of this. It's you want to sit on like the right, as I do here. Actually, I'll show it in the next one. Here, sit on the right, so they shoot the enemies, the bullets towards you, and then just move to the left. And we should just do the same for this side. If you stay on the top, a bullet will shoot up. Now, there's another secret coin here, the second one, and it's killing this boss, I think in like 3 phases, like 15-20 seconds. You can do it pretty simply if you just do it, if you follow what I'm about to do here. So, throw your sword away to put your special sword back up, the special beater back up, and you want to pull out your sword and hold it at the bottom right there, and as he comes up, just drag the sword up with him, and you can shoot the sword, as in, you can just shoot the sword away horizontally, and then it'll go through him and do a lot of damage, but what I like to do is, myself, is you can also just let the sword deplete, and when the sword depletes, you immediately start to shoot again. Other than when throwing the sword, you can't shoot right away. And I use that like point blank with a point blank damage with the ship shot. And I also do like a tap fire there, because your chain has decay in this game. Like, if you don't land a bullet or you don't kill stuff, it's very like inconsistent towards the enemies. I think is like kind of broken, but like sometimes you kill someone, it doesn't refresh the bar. It is whatever. But for this boss, I let the sword fully deplete. I do a point blank damage with the sword there, but the point blank damage doesn't refresh the decay bar. So I actually do a spread shot to quickly put it back up. And then I use the sword again right after. And then right after that section, you want to use this wide, because doing the wide there, he's actually big enough and it does the most damage. You can probably ignore all this decaying thing, because by the end of the game, you'll still have like a crazy high chain anyway. But like, it's just something I like to do in this run, because I try and min-max the chain as much as possible. That is one thing I do in this run. So you'll see me unnecessarily stall enemies to keep my chain from decaying and all that, but if you're playing yourself, you could probably just completely ignore it, because I think all it really does is give you like 20 or 30 extra chain in the end, which realistically means like nothing when you have like 1,000, like 900. But yeah, you just want to, after this section as well, like, where you get stuck in it is, after this hyper, you know it's about to end, you hear like a loud alarm, like beep beep. You want to go down and just go, you stick in the middle, because your hyper should, like, he shoots down and then 2 shots here and on the very left. Your hyper should just wipe these and you can just sword in the middle. And of course these aim shots just move to the side, wait for the aimed shots from the middle, go away and just fry them. And then you want to, for scoring, you want to pick up the health. For survival, you just pick up the extend, because you get like triple the hits. And for this blackout section here, is what I want to do is, I like to start at the left and sweep right, and then of course from right to left. And this means, because the next wave come from the left and then the right, so it just makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker. And then here's another section where we'll see me stall my chain decay. And this is also where the third secret coin is in this stage. So you'll see me like tap shot here. Of course, tapping the ring doesn't refresh your chain, but tapping the enemies does. Again, I think this is an inconsistent thing where if you sword them, it doesn't refresh the bar for some reason, but it does add to your chain, so you can kind of just ignore this, because I think the difference between is like, I think you leave with 158, and then if you don't do this, you leave with like 151. It's like 7 difference. It's like, okay. Yeah, you see me, I tap the one and kill that one. And then I use my spread shot here to tap them. Then I just kill the one on the left. You can also be on the left and just kill the one on the right. Like, this part is a really easy coin to get. You just stick to one side and you just throw your sword at them. And of course for this blackout section it'd be a wall. You just do the same as you did at the start of the game. Just shoot them. It can feel fancy to do the sword, so do that if you want, but yeah. And for this section you can actually get you can keep all of these lasers alive if you want a big medal, because like all these lasers, you'll see it, they drop a lot of medals. However, I'm really trying to min-max my chain towards the end of the game, so I actually killed 2 of the laser, I guess, shield parts. and then kill the main one, you see, each laser gives a ton of medals. And then these revenge enemies, just throw your sword, just shoot them. What matters right now is just killing the enemies early. Then in the boss. We're on to the boss. Now, this boss will have... The boss, you won't be able to kill it until you destroy these 4 laser parts. And we want to get like the biggest time bonus possible, which I don't think it like does much as well. See, a lot of things don't do much in this game. I want to explain that too. Like I know this is like a bit. Like, it feels like a bunch of nonsense explaining, which later on I'll be able to ignore all this nonsense. Like, I feel like you have to get all this at the start of the game. Well, it's still simple. But yeah, you see, like in this part, we'll kill the boss as quickly as possible. I see. What you want to do is you just want to hold your sword where our arcade mode here, or story mode if you're playing story mode here is. And you want to kill this shield part before it comes down. And then you want to immediately move up, and your sword will deplete, but as soon as your sword refreshes, it should kill it immediately. And you should be able to kill these 2 right before they're able to shoot and kind of like walk you off. And this boss is more self-explanatory. It's like she shoots aimed bullets, which there's a big gap in the right. So just focus on that, and yeah, you can kind of just point blank them. You can hyper. I think in the second phase of hyper, because like there's some medals to be had. It's not much score though. As you can see, like I get around 40k score, if I'm reading that right. But yeah, or 400k, sorry. I think that says 7 million. Yeah, 7 million. It's not much score as of right now, but yeah. And see, the end of the stage, we've got third time bonus. 236k max chain bonus is actually where you get a lot of the score. There was a glitch before where if you got like a 900 chain in the previous game and then you started a new game, this would be like 9 million at stage 1. That's fixed now, so you won't be seeing that in this run. But yeah, that was pretty entertaining. And of course, your lives, you get 100k per extend and per HP point, I think. This is 100k, and then HP points is 300k. It doesn't matter. These don't matter that much. You can probably just ignore these. Yeah, and of course, medals collected is secret coins you get per stage. But yeah, no. I suppose we got a bunch of blabber, we got a bunch of nonsense out of the way. We can move on to stage 2. And this first part, you don't have to dodge. You can just sit in the middle of the spinning enemy. And for this part, you want to sword 1 wave, because there'll be 3 waves that pop on here. You want to sword 1 or 2, and then throw away your sword, and then kill the last one. So you're able to kill them all with your sword. Preferably the first one, because it's easy to do that with. There'll be a couple of revenge enemies here, and right here is just self-explanatory. Now, these worms are a pain in the ass. They're very inconsistent. From what you'll see in here, you want to wait till he fully emerges, because I don't think this was at the release of the game, but every individual body part is 1 chain, which you'll see here. And sometimes what I mean by is a bit of a pain in the ass is killing the enemy, as you can see here. I'm going to wait till he fully emerges. And you see how I kind of like use the tip of my sword to kill the head, and then he drops a bunch of medals. I think in my hard mode run, I can look there. Yeah, stage 1 is like really the same on hard mode. Like this boss. Yeah, where is that boss section? Yeah, that boss is mostly the same, just faster bullets. Because I think what happens here is like sometimes this boss, like the worm, just doesn't give you medals even though you kill it with a sword. So skip to like 4. Yep. I think it's something to do with like hitting the torso too much. I'm not sure, but I think the most consistent way I found to get medals is just like wait until he fully emerges, get the most of your chain, and then just use the very tip of your sword. And I miss half the medals anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. that I feel like it's the most consistent way to kill the worms. And I think the worms later on in the game, you don't have to wait for them to emerge because they're all through there anyway. They just come off screen. I think it's just this stage where they like each body part comes in 1 by 1. Or Or maybe there's like one more section where that happens and I've not paid full attention yet. But yeah. After that though is this wall section, which is a secret coin, and the secret coin for this section is killing all of them, which is a lot easier to do with a hyper, but I'll show you how to do it without hypering. And you can do this in hard mode too, it's literally the same in hard mode. So the video was like really glitchy, but what we're gonna do is just kill these first 4 sections. Kill this one on the right, and then you want to, after killing this one in the bottom right, kill the one on the bottom left, and then you want to sword this one top left. And then kill these 2 big guys. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. And then you just want to sweep from left, top left, top right, and then bottom right. Kill this one on the right, and then you want to shoot your sword to this one that's hiding in the left. You probably use auto aim for it, and that's a lot easier to do. And again, this part, you can probably figure out how to kill these. And then there's going to be another one on the bottom left. You can see a shadow there. That's where you can like line up the sword, like kill him. Then there's one you can just shoot in the right. Then this one you want to just sword them and shoot them in the middle. And okay, then this section you can just hyper it. I'll be honest. this is like the dumbest part. However, if you don't want to hyper it and you want to save it for the mini boss, you can do this. So you want to sit on the right, like in between the right or the left. I just prefer to be on the right, of like in between these like popcorn, so you don't get tagged by this one shooting down the middle, and you just want to sword the wall. Then you have to go left and use your sword on the left popcorn. After you're done swording the left popcorn, you want to use the very tip of your sword that will kill. You'll be right on this wall, but you kill the very tip of this popcorn. And after that, you want to shoot your sword right, which I'll show you here. After do that, I immediately swing my sword right and shoot it right. And most of the time, this one will stay alive, but what you can do is just use the very tip of your sword to just kill that one, and then use your auto aim or just shoot it at that guy, and then that's how you get that section bonus. And I think on my hard mode, I literally do like the exact same thing. You just sword these guys. Or actually, I go down the bottom here and just get them as they come down, but see, it's a lot more tight. And I actually miss them, so you can actually just swing a second sword if you do miss. And here I wait for the shadow, shoot my sword to the left. And then I literally do the exact same way. Except here I shoot my sword lower, so I don't actually have to use the tip of my sword. And yeah. Here for this worm, this worm boss, like... Now, this is what I mean by saving your hyper. You can save your hyper here for cancelling these bullets. It's quite a bit of points, but it's really not that much. You're better off just swording them to death and keeping your hyper. I think in this one I actually do try to keep my hyper, because there's a part later on where you can get a lot more score. Or not a lot more score, you can build up a lot higher chain, sorry. But there's the secret coin here is this very back end of the enemy. If you kill that, I think the only reasonable way to kill it is with a sword. A coin drops, so that is what you want to do. But yeah, that is kind of just like this. There's not much more to explain, just kill it. You can also show it on hard mode. Oh god. We'll play it on hard mode too, which I think is here. Really just the same, honestly. He fires like aim shots that are always aimed towards you. Sorry, just getting my notes up. I accidentally scrolled them all the way down. I actually take a hit on hard mode, and I also use my hyper here too, as you can see. But that was before I knew the blue bullets don't really give you medals, so it's actually not as appealing as it once be. But as you can see, if you use your hyper at the start, you're going to build up another hyper anyway, which is really helpful. And yeah. And I use it again, because I'm stupid. But I don't do that in this one. I improved. On normal mode, at least. But here's these things. See, in this one, Oh, I still have a shield. So what you usually do is, for score, is you just pick up another extend. Ignore the score bonus. The score bonus means nothing. It gives you like 50k, and the extend gives you like 100k bonus. And not only does the extend give you like 100k bonus, it gives you 100k per stage. So like stage 2, if I come an extend, it gave me like 500k on, or like something on alone. I don't understand what the score bonus is supposed to do. Maybe it's something I'm not figured out. Like, I don't know. But either way, if you still have a shield and there's a pickup, what you can do, which you'll see me do a lot in my runs, is you can just keep it there. This like power up circle will stay with you for the whole game. Well, not the whole game, sorry, the whole stage. The whole game, it will disappear on stage transition. However, you can take it to the very end of the boss. It's actually pretty funny. So you can, if you have a shield, this is like a backup shield. So not only do you have an extra hit, if you did get hit in the second half, you could just pick up another health bar again. Or if you get hit in the boss, you could just pick up another shield. So you go into the next stage with another shield. That's actually really nice. But yeah, I think after this is just like some revenge enemies. And you see, I just keep this around. Now, these guys, you don't have to kill them. You can just let them like go off screen. If they go off screen, they still add to your chain and refresh your chain bar for some reason. I don't do that here though, because like I feel like you do get like very little points for shooting them down, but that is just something to keep in mind. And of course, if that gets patched, well, at least it doesn't invalidate, I suppose. But yeah, it's a very funny thing. However, one thing to keep in attention is you want to remember this suicide bar, that suicide bullets bar, because right after this is a very sneaky section, because there will be a popcorn wave right below with no warning that is hitting, because usually I start from left and go bottom left to like dodge the revenge bullets, and then these just come up and just absolutely fry me. Very evil, is caught me off guard more than I'd like to admit. But what I do here is when I do remember, is I stick to the top left, because I need this spinning circle part, that circle tank, sorry. His bullets, if you're set at the top left, are very easy to dodge, and of course the popcorn like moves in a way where you can just swing your sword at them. And now, this is why I keep my hyper. If you keep your hyper, you can use your hyper for this chain here. Normally you can't kill all these with your sword because you just don't have enough bar, but with your hyper you can kill them all and get the most out of your chain. If you don't have a hyper though, however, which I do in my hard mode run, I don't have a hyper. See here, same thing, I did the exact same thing on hard, so I keep missing my sword. This is usually the route I take when I don't have a hyper. Because your sword special will run out, and you want to like kill them you want to kill like the bunch of the bottom ones, and then save your last bit of the sword for this right one, because that's where the last secret coin is in this stage. Now, you do not get these at the end, however, your sword regenerates to get these last two just as they come by, so you can use your sword to get them last two as it refreshes. But if you have your hyper, you don't even have to do that, you can just swing all these guys down. And of course, yeah, I do that whole that tip thing again to get all the medals sometimes when the game feels like it. And we're on to the boss. Okay, so this boss is really straightforward. It really just shoots a bunch of wide shots, and there's two options you'll see. I'll just play it actually, because I can probably explain it as it's going on. He'll shoot like homing missiles which disappear as they get to like the bottom 30% of the screen, or 20%. And these two drones you can kill for medals, which I see I'm going for here. And they shoot these like slow lasers towards you, which is really just moving left and right. And on normal mode, it's very wide, these shots. And there's a bunch of blue shots too, but you don't even have to swing your sword out of the way because they're that wide. And of course, if I do take a hit here, I still have that power-up pickup with me, which I can just keep in the middle. But yeah, I just use my hyper for like... Because here's one thing to remember too with this boss, is in the second half, they will shoot these like wide shots, and on hard mode, they're actually rather dense. Because here's how it looks on hard mode is, again, like the shots are like, it's basically just the same, but when you get to the second half, as in the red bar goes to, they'll start shooting these like widespread shots. You can just go to a corner or something, the opposite corner of the bosses, but you can use them for a lot of medals if you hyper them. And of course on normal, they're way wider and you don't have to think about it. Like, you can just stay anywhere and they'll move out of the way for you. But yeah, that is that boss. Yeah, there's some quick early scoring you can do. And here, I pick up, I don't lose my shield, so I pick up in the extend for the extra 100k bonus. And I don't think it counts right now, because you get the this bonus as the boss dies. You can hear it, like here. You can hear me get like the extend for the bonus here. So like if you really want to min-max it, you pick up the extend now, but you heard me the extend bonus there, and then I pick up that. But it's still worth to pick it up, because if I keep this extend for stage 3, 4, 5, and 6, that's an extra 400k alone compared to the 30k that the bonus will give you. So that's really something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's the stage 2 boss. It's honestly rather simple. But yeah, we'll move on to the next. Stage 3 starts off with some revenge build, guys. Let's start from the left and right. Now, on stage 3, you really want to be, like, you really want to remember a lot of it. So I think right after these, you got this wave of popcorn. There's a secret coin in the very front right one, and you can just start at the left and just swoop along the right, as I do here. Now, you could actually see the shadow of that, but like, there's these big tanks that want to come in, and you really want to focus on them because they're very mean and they shoot a lot of shots and fair homing shots. And you can see I go right onto it and just point blank it. If you point blank them with a sword, you can kill them really fast. And right after that is another very fast mean section. Is these cross laser. They always shoot in the same location. So you just want to stick at the very left or right, or even bottom middle, but preferably left or right to prepare for the next section. And you just laser them when you have the chance. And then the reason why I said preferably left or right is because these next wave will come in. And also, when they start shooting as random, I think I've had times literally where they just don't shoot. Is that random? So like, they can shoot like immediately, or they can take like a whole second to shoot. You see they all do shoot at different intervals. Very slightly though. I think it's a lot more consistent though. But here you want to stick at the left and I just hold right, and they all shoot around the middle, and you can just sword them one by one, because after this they won't move their laser shot. And then here you want to stick at the left or right. Left or right. No, my video playback is. There we go. Left or right. Yeah, there we go. To just deal. You want to deal like whatever side you're on. You just want to melee this one on the left or right, and preferably you want to shoot your sword to actually hit him. Here I don't even hit him, so I have to pull out another sword, and then I just melee him and then shoot towards him. But then after that section, there's actually 2 ways to do this laser section too, where here, as I show here, I just use my gun to just kill the middle popcorn, and I go up to use my sword to melee them. You can also alternatively, like, after this is killed, you can just go to the very left or very right and just kill them from the outside. You don't have to stick in the middle like I do, because they'll actually go through the middle, like they will like sandwich you, if that makes sense. But that will almost never happen. Like maybe you're I don't know. Like, maybe there's some glitch that happens that prevents you from shooting or something. That's where that's happened, but we don't have that here, so we're good. Now there'll be 5 popcorn here. Right after this 5 popcorn, that's like your warning to get to the top middle. Of course, on the very top middle, like here, because this will be a very mean section. There will be revenge enemies, this big tank, and 2 lasers on the left and right. You really want to like tunnel out this little big tank here, because they shoot like homing shots, which are very mean with these revenge bullets combined, because they kind of just shoot in your general direction, so it's kind of randomish. You can see I do that. I do exactly that here. And that part becomes really easy, but if you keep the big tank alive, it's honestly a lot harder than it should be. And of course on hard, I think this is like the same on hard mode. I don't think there's much differences. I think the bullets are denser. And you see here, like, I think what I explained earlier is actually in best prime example here. I'm gonna check this. See how he just didn't shoot for the longest time, but I was to shoot? They're honestly random intervals. They just shoot whenever. These all shoot roughly the same time. But yeah, here I do exactly that here. Most of this, mostly just the same. This video looks a lot better than this for some reason, so I might just look at that from now on, but... But yeah. And there'll be like more popcorn, but at the end of that popcorn wave, it's another warning where you want to point blank this sort of big tank, because there'll be 4 laser turrets, and you'll be stuck in this middle with just random like spread shots. Not random spread shots per se, but they'll feel random. And I like to just stick at the bottom. As I kill them, I go to the bottom, I shoot them, and I use my sword to just swing off them homing shots of the way, and then you just kill these guys one by one. Because right after this will be a mid-boss. Oh, something fell. This mid-boss. Yeah, this will be very different based on normal or hard mode. So I'll be going over both for... hard mode is ridiculous, I'll be honest. So you really want to keep your hyper for a hard mode, and you want to have your hyper anyway for scoring in normal mode. Here you want to stick to the very bottom left and slip under this like bullet wall here, and you want to make your way to the bottom of this boss and just keep tapping right and just point blank. I actually kind of forget here because I realize I'm playing normal mode and I don't hyper for some reason. I think I hyper somewhere around now, but here you kind of just stick towards the bottom, because if you stick towards like the bottom left, I will maybe be able to see here, like if you stick around the bottom left, like these things can like wall you in. You might be able to see here if I show this. Like, look at the bottom left, this is like a bit ridiculous, like it's just gonna wall you in. I mean, the bottom left compared to the bottom right is just like night and day. But yeah. Here we go, it's a lot simple, a lot simple. And I hyper on this section here. Now, I hyper on that section because I know I can easily build up a hyper and also dodge a laser section. This part, again, you just want to point blank. It can be quite tough, but they always spin it the same way. As you can see here, this laser section, if you just stick to the left, a lot simpler than it looks. And yeah, easy peasy. And you see I also did a power-up section. Now to explain it on hard mode, this boss is a lot eviler in hard mode. The rings it shoots are the same, but it has a little twist. It shoots freeway aimed shots. Here I do the same where I slip through the bottom here. And you also want to slip through the bottom of the next wave because it feels a lot wider, this ring. And what I mean by these aim shots is, see, I stick to like the left of this wall. I stick to like this like left, the left of these walls. Oh no, the left of the opening. Sorry, the very right of the left wall, like, and the very left of the opening. And I slowly tap right for the aim shots. And this is where it gets ridiculous. This is where you want to hyper because this section is just absolutely bonkers. On hard, I don't hyper on this though, and I also don't have the window borders, but so it's a bit tougher to tell. You can dodge the aim shots by going up there, but then here's where this kind of gets silly. So here you want to macro around the aim shots by sticking at the bottom and go all the way above that wall, right on the border, and then you want to slip them to the right, and you want to macro these aim shots again. Well, not macro, you go in between them technically, but yeah. That is a bit ridiculous. And then here's the same where I actually want to keep my hyper for this laser section coming up because it's a lot eviler because it forces you to move with the aim shots, but in this kind of makes you go into the laser sometimes because I'm very silly. On hard mode. This is really tough. You may want to practice this. The game does have a stage select, and practice mode, I guess, is honestly a lot tougher than normal. It's like they don't have much differences sometimes, but then there's just like some sections of hard mode that are just ridiculous. Basically, here it's just like roughly the same. And yeah, we'll go back to normal. Here we keep our metal chain here, and I think I'll show that I think this section is actually the exact same on hard mode. As you spinning, I start from the left and just go to the right, because if you go to the right there's a secret coin, then you just slip through the left. It's quite simple. And right after this wall section, you want to slip in between through here. Very close to getting hit there, but I slipped through. There'll be two of these big homing tanks. Complete assholes. Here, I just stick to the bottom, and when they're shooting their homing shots, they're easily countered by just holding your sword out, as you can see I just do here. Now, there's two ways to do this. You do the same thing, but there's two ways to do it, if that makes sense. There'll be this like a tank here that shoots blue and yellow shots. You want to kill him, and there'll hopefully a path in the middle. And on normal mode, I can see I really, as I mentioned, I min-max my chain as much as possible. So I use my hyper mode to get all of them killed, or most of them killed. I'm doing this couple on the right here. I think the way they fall is random. So the two on the right that fell down, they could have just fell in the middle. I'm not too sure. I haven't paid that much attention. But yeah, you see I got the most chain out of that. And right after that is the boss. If you want to keep your hyper for the boss, which is completely reasonable, here's the same thing on hard mode. I just use my sped shot, and you don't get as much, but you get enough. And the secret last coin is in this boss, and I'll be showing the hard mode version of this because this boss is ridiculous and hard. By that I mean the shots are just very hard, very fast. This boss is very mean. So at the start, I like to get some free damage on the right arm, because secret coin, like, it has two breakable arms and then the main boss. You want to keep the left arm alive, but you want to break the right arm because you want to get a secret coin. And you can see what I do here is then they'll shoot these like random spray shots and a bunch of aim shots. You just slowly stream around the right arm and just kill it as quickly as possible, because it also damages the boss. And here's where this gets silly, because the boss just starts like shooting these like random spread shots and these fast yellow shots. Sometimes you can sit on the top right, but you still have to dodge some shots, so I just like to stick at the bottom. And here you can see me specifically, I'm keeping this right arm alive on purpose to just focus on the middle boss. Because this boss is a thing where if you destroy both the arms, it kind of goes absolutely fucking crazy for some reason. But you do have an extra hit if you keep your medal, if you keep your power-ups from making chain, sorry. You see, as I kill the boss is very low health, so I'll be okay. And I think on hard mode, I'll show this boss in hard mode. Here we go. I also have the extra hit, but I don't think I use it at all. Here I do the same thing, I focus on the right arm. These fired shots that it shoots are a bit faster, it seems. I do it. But then here's where like these shots are just ridiculously fast. See, there's a reason I didn't use my hyper on that wave section. I used my hyper on this boss to get through that first pattern. You can see the shots are like twice the speed. And I really focus on the right here. I actually missed some of my swords trying to focus on the right that much. On hard mode, this is honestly like this is a bit ridiculous, but you'll get it with practice. Here's my homing actually went to the left arm, but here I also do the same where I'm about to kill it. I kill it, and I even use my hyper to be extra safe and get extra medals before it continues its crazy patterns. If it ever does get to that point, I guess to stick to the top right, because then you're able to like, you just have to focus on like the homing shots, but then the homing shots like you have to really keep your sword out a lot. I don't know, or just like spam the sword and just hope you get hyper quick enough with the spam hyper. It's quite tough, but that's what I do in my run. This is more going over what I do in my run, not what's most optimal. Even though I like to think I do what is most optimal. And here I pick up an extend for the bonus. And my game's lagging. But yeah, on to stage 4. Hold on, I'll take a bit of a break. Right, to continue this video. Just a quick water break. Right. So stage 4. We're on to it, right? Yeah, stage 4. Now, this stage does start really fast, so you'll have to keep on your guard for this. Stage 4 is quite a doozy. So at first, it'll be like, here, I'll show you here. These, like, 2 big tanks. And just honestly, if you stick to the bottom left, you'll be left to dodge. This, I think it's supposed to be, like, a foreshadow for the boss, but it's fucking evil because, as you can see, it's covering the screen in the bullets. I think it, like, almost gets me hit on my hard mode run. It is actually very evil. See here, I stick to the left. It's just like... so that's what I'm saying, like, you really want to stick in a spot where you know the bullets aren't going to hit you, so, like, you're fine. As you can see, it looks a lot more dangerous than normal because I didn't kill it that fast. No, these little shits, these little fucking waves, right? They on hard mode, I just had a stroke. I didn't even kill them, but I killed them in normal, so I tried to do that. Of course, you just want to like stick to the bottom left to kill the bottom left wave, no, the top left wave. And as their bullets pass by, I go to the top left and get them as they come up. Now, you don't want to shoot your sword just yet, you want to wait a bit. Here I just shoot it because I'm a psycho. But like as you can see, they shoot revenge bullets and shoot aim shots at you. It looks a little dangerous, but honestly you can just tap them and you'll be fine. Here you can use your sword or gun, and of course I also just forget the path. You wanna like stick to the bottom left here because it's actually like really easy to dodge like most of the shots in the bottom left. I just don't do that. I think I do it on my hard mode. Okay, I'll show that here. Yeah, I kill them, and I stick to the left. Here we go. Like it's so much easier to dodge than whatever the hell I'm doing in this run. But yeah. Oh, my recording. Alright, there we go. And this worm section, I like to stick to the left to shoot like their blue aim shot. Actually, the aim shots don't matter, I can just kill them with the sword. And just kill them both as they both come to the right. I don't know if all the pieces have merged there, I'm not sure, but yeah. And here the same rule, sorry. Just stick to the left and they're easy to dodge. And the reason why I say stick to the left, because you also want to prepare for this section. They really mean it with this bottom danger sign. If you're around the bottom danger sign, you'll get hit. I've gotten hit quite a few times before I learned that. So you want to really stick to the bottom and hold spread shot. And you should get like 90% of them. Very majority. And this laser section is just like more dodging. It's very simple, it's just like a bunch of circle shots. They really love their like circle spread shots in this game. And yeah, just use your focus fire to get through. And here's where your first secret climb will be. I'll be in the middle, and I got lucky and it kind of just bounced into me. But you want... if it bounces to the right or left, that's the path you want to take. So if my coin bounced to the right like I was going to, I just stick to the right lane here. Of course, in normal mode, what I try and do is I'm trying to get the maximum chain possible. So I shoot my sword left, and I use my point blank and my gun to destroy that block. And then I use my sword to kill this popcorn, and I just use my sword to kill these blocks. And I miss that bottom left one. But on hard mode, I think you can see it a lot easier on hard mode. And also, I actually go over this laser section a lot more in hard mode, because in hard mode they also shoot these like semi-aimed shots. I don't know. They're like aimed, but I see the left one just didn't aim towards me. Oh, just shot at the bottom. Yeah, I think I should do like this. Yeah, I just run into the guy there. Like these guys are like, it's very hard to see, but their hitboxes goes a lot more horizontal than you think, because these like tiny little like parts that come out of them. It's hard to see when it's like black on black and that, but when they have their laser out, it's a lot easier to see. But it's really just the same, honestly. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I also I completely forgot. Wait. Here, I think this happens. Yeah, see, mine's bounced to the right, so I stick to the right. But it didn't fall into me anyway, and it's just like having a dance party. I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, it's ridiculous. The coins are ridiculous. I think I've had times, and I really wish I got a clip of it, where it was just like ridiculously fast. This coin, it was really fucking funny. It's just, I think it's because I'm not sure. It's like this killing the one thing low on the screen, it can just bounce really fast. And I think it can also happen on stage 2 as well. But, not enough of that. Oh yes, it's on hard. Normal. And just go around the left too. You can go for the middle, but it's like no reason to. And, okay, there'll be these 2 ball sections. The first one's really simple, just kill them. But this part's a pain in the ass. It's actually, like, a lot closer. It's gotten me, like, close a few times. So what I do is I like to just kill this right ball here, so I stop shooting shots, and then kill this bottom laser part to free up this whole bottom part, because it goes like counterclockwise. So then this left ball that comes to the left here, it's very easy to deal with if you do that. And if I check my hard mode run, I do like the same thing. I actually kill the bottom laser part, and I have a really close call there. There's no reason to have such a close call. If I just did what I did in my normal run. But yeah. This mid-boss. You really want to keep your hyper for this. This mid-boss has honestly ended a lot more runs than, again, like I'd care to admit, but yeah. Beyond this, I like to just like not slip through that wall there, but I like to slip through this one, and as I go about to go through the third, or not about to go through it, but as I get to the third wall, sorry, then I like to hyper, so I can kill all these like drones, or most of all these drones it has, and kill that wall section there, because you want that wall section to be gone, because you want to slip into this wall here, and that is really important. You really want to slip into this wall here, because if you like stick on the outside of this wall, you will probably just be stuck. You'll be stuck on the outside, and you know. Yeah, really want to slip through the walls here. I get hit there. The hitboxes on these are a bit silly. I don't know what the hitboxes are, but they feel ridiculous. But yeah. Yeah, I slip through in the wall. You really want to stick inside the walls here, because if you're on the outside, these laser walls just kill you. It's very evil. And we'll check my hard mode run. How I do it there. It's like literally the same on hard mode, it's just the aim shots are faster. I actually hyper right away on hard mode. But yeah. So the laser section comes up, and I like to stick inside the walls, and I just keep point blanking with a sword. And you want to hold your sword out too, so when like the blue aim shots come at you, you can just swing them out of the way. Yeah. Back to normal. Actually, I actually lose my shield on both these attempts. Stage 4 is honestly very mean. You be sure to practice stage 4. It's a very big choke point. It's very fast. And then there'll be this like, laser section. Just don't be. They're always shooting the same place. Just don't be in the middle. And just stick on the left side. And if you stick on the left side, you actually get some popcorn waves here to kill your sword. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. One I'm going to show in normal mode is I actually use hyper here to get the most out of the biggest chain possible. I'm trying to optimize the chain as much as possible. And then of course there'll be this one big tank, and then we're on to the boss. On hard mode, I want to keep my hyper for the boss. I also let one guy leave there. So I just stick towards the middle, and this may not seem optimal, but like I use my entire sword bar there. So it's kind of like the most you could do anyway before they all leave. So you can't do much of a hypering there. But there's a reason I want to keep my hyper for this boss in hard mode so quickly. Go back to normal here. This boss is not so bad on normal, but very, very mean on hard. Very mean on hard. So it has like different things. Like this boss has a big sword. The big sword basically just means don't go in the middle of the screen. Stick at the very bottom or the very left and right corners. And you can see This whole boss basically sometimes that you see these, the blue shots that are kind of blocking, but there's these two drones on the right which will go in and out, and they shoot a bunch of bullets. And other than the bullets, the boss will sometimes shoot this like ring with a mixture of blue and yellow bullets, which you'll also see. And of course, the sword, when it goes in on the boss, you can see there, it like shields the boss somewhat. It doesn't make it completely immune to damage, but it basically like shields her, gives her like resistance, and shoots these big aimed like bullets. The hitbox is like that dark orange part though. Like you can go through these like bright yellow parts, but it's like half the yellow, half the I don't know. It's strange. Just honestly try and go all the way around it. But yeah, you see, the main strat of this boss is I like to stick to the right, because she has her sword like pointed out to the left, so she can like swing it all the way to the left. So I just kill the drone on the very right, and then this makes it so much easier. And you still want to take like pot shots and swing your sword to the left drone, because you do want to kill them later for extra medals, and just so it just stops damn shooting. But like, it's literally half the bullets in this fight gone, and you can see it's very easy to just like. And one thing I want to explain too, actually, is they always have the same pattern as boss. I should really explain this. Is that when the sword goes in to protect, it will fire these like sword swings at you. In one, let's see, like 1, 2, 3, and after 3, the sword will go out. And when the sword goes in, it's the same pattern: 1, 2, 3. So you can always see it coming in a way. It's never just out and over, even if it has like no sound effects. So you can always find it out. And of course, this phase, you really want to like. This is where the third secret coin is this like little right drone that kind of just like. I don't think it shoots anything. All I think is literally just a secret coin. That's all it is. But yeah. Here actually has indicators though, and I actually almost get hit there. You want to stick in the opposite side with the bosses. That's all this part is. And here I actually go try and kill the other drone, and then it's just really just dodging the boss at this point. But yeah. So here, just stick around here. And that's the boss. Now I want to show this in hard mode so quickly, because this boss on hard mode is a lot different. I mean, by a lot different, I don't know. The part isn't like major pattern differences or anything, but it's like the density and the speed of bullets. The density and the speed is just like insanity in this. So like, there's a reason I keep my hyper for this. Because I like to dodge the first part, as in I do the same strat. I tunnel out the right drone, so it's a lot easier to dodge the aim shots of the sword. As you can see though, they are ridiculously fast, and the drone's shots are way denser. So as you can see, the dodges are way tighter. And I actually keep my hyper for the second one, because like she was gonna shoot her 3 sword swings again, and then it's just like, yeah, no, just use your hyper. There's no reason to like be all fancy, or be fancy if you want to, if that's what you enjoy. But yeah. And here I actually just use my hyper completely and just trying to kill this right guy, and I kill him. And it's still pretty dangerous and hard because the shots are very fast, but it's so much easier. Just having both the drones alive just makes this fight like insanely fucking hard. But yeah, it's a lot easier now. That I killed 1 drone on the right and 1 drone on the left, and on hard mode, yeah. And then the fights like kind of just plays out the same, except the patterns are just denser, really. And I just try and focus at the right with my gun, and I use my sword. Yeah. I think I do have some pretty tight dodge here, though. Actually, in the second part, I think like when the boss is going up to the top here, I think the boss can be very mean sometimes, or she like puts her sword in as she's about to move left, and I wasn't expecting it. And I didn't want to go left because I didn't want to get tagged by the sword, because the sword like I think she just tags you if you like go beneath her. So I had to like squeeze in the right there, which is right on the border like of the game's playable area. But yeah, I also missed my sword here. I think I tried to be fancy. Wait. Yeah, I try to pre-fire like his R6. I try to be all fancy. But yeah, no. But yeah, no, that's stage 4. Yeah, I feel like there's a major difference between it being a normal and hard just because of the boss alone. The shots are just really fast, and even with knowing like the shooting pattern and all that, like it just still catches you off guard. But yeah. Stage 5. Stage 5 was like mostly designed around the other ship, because that's what you play in story mode. However, we're still playing as a sword ship because we're playing arcade mode, and the sword ship gives you the most score anyway. The stage is very cool. There'll be 2 popcorn waves from the left and right, and after that there'll be like the circle rush, as you can see here. There is a way to sword them, and I think they show this later on. Like, it feels random. Like, you can either sword them on the right or the bottom, and then the sword will go all the way around in a circle and kill them all. It's really fucking cool. Sorry over my F-bombs, I don't know. They're really effing cool, sorry. Don't know if YouTube disclosed that. But yeah. It's really cool. But I usually just opt to just gun them because it's a lot easier to just shoot them. But yeah. Yeah, I just shoot these like little waves of popcorn. For this, sorry, completely blanked out there, right? Waves of popcorn, there's big tanks. Right, these big tanks. The stick to the left is a lot easier to dodge. The same with hard mode as well. And these you just stick to the left and just stream to the right. And there'll be this pause section here. Again, I don't know, these things are just a lot easier to dodge on the left than on the right. Yeah, you just use your sword to take them out one by one. And then there'll be a big tank and a worm. I like to, you know, focus on the big tank first. Do a lot of damage in the worm. And then right after that, there'll be the circle rush. It's a pretty fast section, so you really want to be keeping your guard for it. And then it just puts you right at the damn mid-boss. The melee, your sword does a lot of damage. You'll see here. I'm going to use my sword. It does ridiculous damage against the boss. And then my hyper will be started, and our chain is getting really high now from keeping out through the whole game. So what I do is I hyper in the middle here. You don't get that much medals than you think because the boss just takes most of the hyper. But it's more due to safety and to get me into rhythm and to dodging like these walls as they come up, right? Because it's like these walls one by one, and my main recommendation is like just focus on them one by one. You see the left walls coming, so I focus on the left. And I just completely ignore it, because I think, I show it more in my hard mode, you can see I just try and kill the boss as quickly as possible, and then I get hit with my shield. But on hard mode, see, this is a good thing about having two runs. I can like show like different ways to do stuff. But yeah. Here I do the same thing, like I swing at the head a lot, and then I just go right in the middle and I just hyper. You get some score, you get quite a bit of score actually, and then I just stick at one wall at a time. You can see what I'm doing here. I go up, up, left, left, down, down, up, up, left, left, down, down, see? And it's a lot easier that way, and you'll probably kill him anyway if you just throw your sword around. That's what you do. But yeah, there's a popcorn section, yeah. There's the secret... See, this part has a secret coin. I should also... I always forget it, right? But killing this big boss gives you a secret coin. I think it's just with killing him with a sword. Or not. Actually, I think it's just killing him. It gives you a coin. I don't know why. It's just, there's like no secret to be had here. But yeah. I think it's just doing damage to the head. Not sure. But they have a secret coin right after the mid-boss in this popcorn wave. I take a very silly hit there. Little popcorn wave here, to left to right. It's like the same as the beginning of the game, but you got a medal. I think it's like a similar medal at the starting. And this part, you really want to focus, like after that popcorn wave, you really want to go right to the top. You can see his shadow there. You really want to focus him out. You don't want him in. Like, as you can see, I go right to him, I use my sword twice, and because this section becomes really brutal if you keep him alive. because he keeps on hitting you with the slow bubbles that just keep on hitting you. It's like, oh, it's an absolute nightmare. But if you kill him really quickly, you can. There's a secret coin, and that's all the secret coins. And just to show you, like, me doing it again on hard mode, but this time with a power up in the middle, because you may be thinking like, well, this is in the middle, so it's really hard to just get on the top middle. What I do is I just actually stick it on the bottom here. I throw my sword and shoot. Then I just slip up to the left and then just kill them that way. One thing about the bubbles that they show, like they slow you down. However, they pop if you have your sword out and they land on you. Like you can't put your sword on them and then they pop. If that makes sense, it is just different for some reason. And of course, here's a section right after that maze. There'll be a meadow on the right. Actually, no, not right after the maze. I've already said there's a meadow on the right at the end of the maze, and then there's like circle wave section. I honestly just use my spread shot just to kill them really easily, and then I just use my sword. And then this section, we've seen it before. And then this section is just, well, it's a bunch of these guys. Very simple. And then, of course, as you can see, I show it here where on the right, they can actually swing your sword down, and it goes all the way around, which looks honestly goddamn cool. And then right after, I just switch to just holding my spread fire. And hard mode is, here's how it is with a power up in the middle. You can honestly just stick at the bottom. I go up way too far up for some reason, and I just pick up the extend by accident. But yeah, I mean, it's not that bad though, because you can get another health point anyway in this stage. Sorry, yeah, I see on hard mode. Roughly the same. I even miss my socks a bunch of times. But yeah, I keep my hyper for this section. And here I just use my gun. Yeah. This boss, we do want to farm. Like, our chain's gone really high, so we will be farming this. You can see I use my point blank. Sorry. I use my hyper. And after you use my hyper, you want to try and point blank the boss, but it can be pretty dangerous. Because you want to use your hyper on the big patterns. And also, one thing to keep in mind in this boss as well is, while this is going on, you can also, what you can do is you can just ignore the hyper in the first phase and keep it for this. Because this can be mean, and I can imagine this can get a lot of people hit. So that you can just save your hyper as a lot of bullets as well. Like, it's not like you're losing it like on a bunch of score. So here, I actually just save up 2 hypers and use it for the second half of this pattern. And what you can do also is for survival is just focus one out. Because if you focus one out, you do get a health point. But as you see, I'm trying to keep them both alive to get as much builds as possible to cancel with my hyper. You see, I'm trying to like focus the one that's got the most health. I think I do mess up here because, yeah, as I said, one thing to keep in mind is that like if you do kill one, it cancels all the bullets on screen, but you don't get medals for it. And you're gonna see me do this here, but I still get some score. Yeah, I had the one's like too low health, so as soon as I start as hyper, the one's just gonna die. And see, I do that, and this is one thing I mentioned at the start of the game with like the whole like chain decay, is I take like constant pot shots at the enemies, to keep my chain from decaying too much. Of course, like if you're playing for survival, which if you want to see a more survival run, like check the hard mode, because I focus on survival a lot more in this run. But on normal, it's just like full scoring. And see, I just kill them. But I still got a lot more medals for it, and if you kill one, the first one will drop a health bar, which is really helpful. And I think I have the music glitch here. Yeah, the music just doesn't play. Very funny. Yeah, hold on, I'll take a bit of a break for the last stage, because the last stage is the long one. So yeah, be right back. I'm back, I'm hydrated. Have enough time to finish off the last stage. And I think I was just telling you how I got a music glitch. If you want to hear about the music, suppose I can also show the boss in hard mode. I think it's like the same. The bullets might be faster. Okay, the bullets are definitely faster, but same thing really. Just killing them. Trying to farm them. Here I actually do a bit of safety and I just kind of tunnel at 1. And if you do tunnel at 1, what happens is the other boss will start shooting these like blue rings constantly along with their pattern. If you're the sword, if you have the sword, you're fine. You just swing your sword and you'll get through them. They don't give medals. That is really one important thing. They do not give you medals. So there's no reason to use your hyper on a bunch of them. And it looks really nice to put your medal on. But yeah, here's it with the music. And here I'm doing a reference to the release of the game, where like when your sword comes out, always like you get like in 15 degrees to nice little throwback. Not in like an I really don't mean that like a mean way or anything. I just find these things really funny. But yeah, on to stage 6. Like half the damn game. Yeah, almost half the damn game. Well, not really almost half, it's like 30%. It's also weird, like, it's like 30% of the damn game, but as you see, as I mentioned, both of these runs are like no hit 500 million runs. 500 million hard and 500 million normal. Yeah, on hard my score is 180 million, and on normal my score is 127 million. And this is what I mean by like, this game is just like game-long chaining. It's similar to, like, it's actually funny, it's similar to the last game I gave counter to, Star Whisper, where it's like, it's also another game-long chaining game. It's much shorter than this. Sometimes. I have a run that goes on for 50 minutes, but let's just ignore that. But it's very lopsided at the end. Like, it's just like in Star Whisper, there's like this like one wave at like stage 4, which is like the end of the game, which just gives a ridiculous amount of points. This is basically that in this game. It gives a lot of points, but it's not just like one random wave of enemies. It's like the whole thing, like the last 2 bosses. That is where your main score. The last 2 bosses will give you a lot of the score. Here we're just going to be building up more chain because we have a huge chain right now, and we're trying to get to 1,000. And yeah. Also, I should mention, this game spawns in an ally, and massive fucking quotation marks. He's a thief, and he'll steal everything. He'll steal your points. He is kind of helpful later on, but as of right now, he's just here to take your kills. I wonder if he takes your chain. I haven't paid attention to that. I think I do get the kill though before he does. So yeah. I don't think he takes. I don't. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I don't think he takes a chain. And yeah, we have an ad break here. This is for the story mode. This pause it's also here in arcade mode. Like in story mode, there's like a bunch of dialogue during the game and like calls and stuff like that. And there's like dialogue here saying like, you know, you're progressing the mission. You're talking with the other pilot. In arcade mode, he kind of just spawns in, takes your kills, and you get hit with an ad break. It's really entertaining. And here I stick in the middle with the like this. There's like 3 big brushes here with these circles. Yeah, just stick in the middle, and you kill them all. But yeah, and then right after will be I got a rush of suicide enemies. Now, I did mention earlier, as of right now, you can let them go off screen and then they'll still add to your chain and refresh your bar. But you want to kill these one anyway, because what this ally will do is he will shoot them as they're at the bottom of the screen, and there's a bunch of pot shots firing you from a corner, and it's a bit ridiculous. So yes, very helpful ally indeed. So yeah, what I like to do is I just go to the left, go to the right, go to the right, go to the left, and go to the left. And right after the 3rd one, and I like to just do what I usually do with every time these guys show up, is just go right up with them with a sword. And see, here's the way I do this. I'll explain what people do different later on, and it's just to do with the hyper. So if you stick on the right, your ally will stay on the left. When he feels like it, of course. He kind of has a mind of his own. It's just when he feels like it. You can't force him to do anything. He's his own person, and that's okay. But he'll stick on the left because there's a secret medal here. And also, actually, I gotta remember, I completely forgot because the secret medal before, there's one secret medal before, isn't in just killing the big tank guy. It's basically free. I forget to mention it, and I always forget I get it because you just get it. But this one is actually a really tough medal to get. You want to, on these like side walls here, there's like a bunch of turrets, and you have to kill all the turrets. And you kind of have to rely on your ally to kill half of them. Here's like 2 suicide, oh no, 3 of them here, and there's 4 of them. And right after the 4, I like to use my sword to like kill these ones on the right and these on the left. And I like to use my hyper right about now. Because I want to kill all these on the structures. I use the hyper now to get like a head start. I use my sword and he kills one on the left, goes on the right. And as these ones are coming down, I hold spread shot to kill, I think, most of these, like popcorn rush, because this so happened for a while. And you see they're very right of my gun. This turret is a really big hitbox for your gun for some reason. Like your bullet can hit like way above it and it still kills it. And my ally, you know, the genius he is, he comes and kills it anyway, and then now I have to kill the left and right. But now he's like, it's just an absolute nightmare. But I still managed to get it, and he kills that one like off screen, and I get the destruction bonus. But I think it's because I went too far left, so then he's seen me go left, and he don't want to go right, and then it just turns into the whole like absolute hellhole. But yeah, I know a lot of people like to just save their hyper and then use it on the rush. But doing it this way, as you can see, my hyper meter is actually almost built up for the mini bosses. And this is really important in hard mode because there's in hard mode, I think I used my hyper way earlier. And yeah, you get the coin here for just killing him. It's like you have to kill him anyway because he's evil as hell. I don't even know if I get coin bonus in this sort of video. I don't even remember it. But yeah, see, I use the hyper right at the start to get a head start, and you point blank him with your sword builds up a hyper very quickly. And I'm not even in the left hand side. He just kind of like came over to me for some reason. But yeah, but now he's going back to doing his job. But yeah, and then here's the same thing I mentioned. I'm sticking on the right to make sure he sticks on the damn left, and my spread shot keeps on hitting this guy. See, it's like my spread shot's hitting like way up to the next turret, but it kills him anyway. But yeah, that's why I do it hard, and I use my sword to just try and build up hyper as much as possible. And here, my ally actually decides to be an ally and focuses on the left side. And on hard mode, I'll go over this because on normal mode, it puts you right to the mid boss. But there's another enemy on hard mode right before the mid boss, which is actually evil, let's just say. This is where your ally is actually kind of helpful, because the ally just always does the same thing here. Well, the ally kind of just like humps the air. Oh, he's a person of his own. And these like random lasers that come around, so how this boss, like, there's like 4... There'll be like 4 shots from the bottom, left, right, top, you'll see it, and then there's like blue aim shots you can swing with your sword. And these random lasers that swing around. The reason I keep my hyper is that I don't even want to bother. Not only do you get a lot of medals here, I just don't even want to bother. I just don't even want to bother dodging that. And here's one thing important to note. Why I say my ally's kind of helpful here is this can be very scary to dodge, but you can just focus on slipping through the top lane. I slip through the top lane. I go down to slip through the middle lane. And the bottom lane won't be much of a problem because my ally, he can actually tank a hit sometimes. And right after that, if you do the hyper first and then dodge that lane, you'll be hit with this like part of the boss where he just he doesn't fully finish his lane attacks. Like he does a lot of break on, which is really nice. So you have a bit of time to do a bunch of free damage and build up your hyper. And usually you don't want to get hit here because I just have an absolute... I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't even think about slipping through the top lane. I'm just having a stroke here. But you're supposed to do the same thing at the start. And the reason why I want to do the same thing is I like to save the hyper for the next boss. But I'm stupid. So this kind of makes me use my hyper just pure out of safety. Of course, I didn't have to use my hyper, but I just didn't want to get hit and, you know, waste the last 20 minutes of my life. But yeah, so this means I go into the next boss without a hyper. But in a normal mode run, I do go into the boss without a hyper using my strat. And yeah, I'll show both of these because for all the things coming up from now on, there is major differences in normal and hard mode. Like, I guess way harder. And here I have my hyper almost ready. Now, you can actually just like shove your ally into the boss. I don't know if this gives them extra point blank damage. I'd like to imagine so. You can also like take hits. Like, see, the reason I keep my hyper here is because like the first part of this boss isn't so bad if I rewind a bit. Like, I just keep on swinging the top, like stick around the middle. There'll be a laser like he shoots at you. There'll be indicated with a red line, and it shoots into a big laser. And yeah, and then I go like to stick around the bottom middle beneath this guy. But see, that pattern here is like really fast and kind of narrow, and it always catches me off guard. So I like to just keep my hyper for it. And also lets me grab this coin safely, so it doesn't just bounce off into Narnia. And then you get hit with like slower like bullets and that, which if you stick beneath your ally, he is really helpful because you can kind of just push him into the bullets to like create pathways for you, and then you kind of just kill him like that. And then in my hard mode run, I don't have my hyper, so I kind of just have to like dodge it. See, I do the same thing. I put my ally right into his face. We're doing a lot of damage. I do the same thing. I stick around the middle and go left to dodge it. Alright. And then this is the wave I just want to completely skip with my hyper. But yeah, I've done that completely fine. I'm honestly just overreacting. I think it's not even that bad. I'm just overreacting because I've choked runs on it many times. But yeah. And of course, you can keep this for the next boss. This is really helpful. And yeah, your ally leaves you, finally. He was helpful in the second half though, I'll give him that. You know what? We love the CEYX ship. He's honestly very funny. It's just really... I can understand it can be frustrating for a lot of people, but it's just honestly more funny to me. But this boss. This is extremely different. On normal mode, you can farm this boss really well on normal mode. And on hard mode, he's like impossible to farm unless you're like you win the lottery basically. So here okay, I should also mention too is that the hyper from this boss, it carries over. Your hyper doesn't carry over between stages, but it carries over between this. This is still technically the same stage. So what I do is I just build up hyper here in normal mode, and what you can do is you can only slowly... Oh wow, that was really close. I just realized that. You can move slowly by holding the focus first shot, which obviously does damage to the boss because you're shooting up. But you can hold the sword with focus and you can just point the sword downwards, as I show here. And then here, this pattern, you want to use your hyper for it. It gives you a ton of score. And of course, you just want to build up your hyper, use your sword to get through this pattern, build up your hyper, and then you want to hold your sword out and just swing it in circles here, and just focus on dodging the red. And then it's the same, it just repeats, and the only difference is the yellow things you milk sometimes have like gaps between them. And these like blue walls on the side get like they make it like the middle of the screen tighter and tighter, which you'll see here. But yeah, C is most of the same here, as you can see. Most of the same. But yeah, it's just farming this, and I think I got like 4 hypers off. So we're just farming this boss like crazy, and you see, this is the same thing over and over. Don't have to watch the whole thing. And here's the example showing like how like these walls come in and make it tighter. You're usually dodging in the middle anyway, so it doesn't change that much. It's like a cool cinematic effect though, and I like the noise it makes. But yeah. And here I do one last circle around, so I just pick up the health upgrade. And one thing I'd like to mention too is that you will probably get hit if you don't pay attention to that, because when your hyper ends, you don't have iframes. You have iframes during a hyper, obviously, but it doesn't have any ending iframe. So when it ends, you can instantly get hit, like frame 1. So like you can seem like me being a lot more careful about farming the bullets here than like what you'd maybe see in like other games. But yeah, and then here I just know he's about to die, so I even try and bother dodging that red shield. But yeah, on hard mode, this is way different. The patterns are way faster. I actually do get hit unintentionally, so I actually do use this health up. I don't just take it for score in the end. But yeah. And you can see the big main difference, this is way faster. And what I like to do is, as the blue is like, see, they both spin in different directions. When the yellow is coming to my right and the blue is going to my left, it's really hard to see because the recording keeps messing up. Thanks VLC Media Player. You see the pattern there, right? I go to the left, I shoot the sword, and I just keep shooting the sword. So all the blue shots just kind of go away and I can just focus on the yellow shots. But yeah, that's way faster. And I actually don't farm this on hard mode. I don't even bother. See, and you want to stick to the left of the yellow section, so you can just easily slip through it and get in between these red walls here. There's been times where I thought going to the right was fine, but honestly, it's gotten me hit more times than it's actually helped me. Sticking to be on the left, that section. But yeah, here we are. I actually use my hyper here because the last pattern is ridiculous on hard mode. And here's the same thing, and I think I actually do have to dodge it because I think I get hit. Wait. But the power up is gone. Here, like I get hit here. However, it's not enough to get fully through this pattern. So look how fast they are. They go right to the middle, and I don't have to dodge half of that pattern, but you can see by like my sword swings, I was having like a panic attack. I thought I was gonna lose my shield right after picking up my current shield I kept from the last mid boss. There's just like an absolute nightmare-ish, and if you want to farm this boss completely like you do in normal mode, you have to do it like twice as long, 4 times, which, well, you also have to dodge these shots being faster. And yeah, no, it's just not worth it. On hard mode, that's what I mean by like hard mode. Of course, you can do the last one safely because this boss is legit about to perish, but it's just way more survival focused. It's a bit ridiculous, that pattern. Just based on, because it's also random as well. Like, it's not even aimed or anything. It's just like boom. But yeah, now we're on to the true last boss. The true last boss is also, we're gonna go over both normal and hard because they are very different on normal and hard. On normal, the boss is actually pretty reasonable. On hard is literally, it feels like gambling half time. Just because of the overlap. But yeah, on normal, so to explain this boss as well, I should explain this, is that if you've like played like, also, I mean, this game's obviously like treasure inspired, right? But like Ikaruga, just mention Ikaruga, right? The final true last boss is a timer. It's 60 seconds. But it doesn't have a health bar. You can't shoot the boss in Ikaruga. It's just like you just have to survive. And this game is like, it's like a timeout, but not at the same time. Because you still have to kill the boss, and you're really incentivized to do a lot of damage. But as all the patterns, like, they all last the same amount of time. Like, you have to survive them no matter how much damage you do for the same amount of time. And I'll go over each phase and what you can do for each of them, but Yeah, I bet because you'll see later why we want to kill the boss really quickly. You probably know why if you're watching this video, but yeah, this first phase is a very like you can as archetype. That's what it's called. You can get in a lot of point blank damage because it's basically just the first boss of the game. And it just shoots aimed shots, and you can get a lot of damage. And also, one thing as well is that your ship is now on called Exceed mode. Like, you and your ally have merged together, and he's helpful because you're like on top of each other now. And if you graze bullets, you also shoot like graze missiles, like little ATG missiles. So you're incentivized to like hug against bullets, which you'll see me do a lot here because you want to get the most out of these missiles. Here. And I'll show each phase one by one on normal and hard. I'll just show this phase completely on normal at the moment. And see it kind of just ends. It goes into antithesis, I don't know. Kind of goes in this section here. You don't want to use your hyper in the first phase, you don't get much score from it anyway, just use your hyper in the next phases. And on hard mode, skip forward a bit. It's basically the same thing, but the shots are just faster. So yeah, I do point blank, but however I go all the way down instead of normal mode, where I'm playing a lot safer and hard, of course, because it's almost hard as you. The shots they're a bit wider, but they're also a lot faster in a way, but kind of makes them harder the wall you're in, because they're faster, and they don't just linger on screen, so. Actually kind of nice in that regard. See, I'm getting a lot more grades up here. And yeah, I mean, this is all, it's all this phases. And also the side lasers, I kind of forgot to mention them, they're there, I guess. Just don't zoom to the very left and right, and on antithesis. Right. It's basically like the first boss again, except this time it shoots these spread shots. In a normal mode I use my hyper for it. And I think I also use, this is normal, yeah, I don't know, this is, see they're very like wide here. And then this part is like, kinda nonsense. It's kind of just like a bunch of overlap, like, it's kind of like hard to tell what's happening. It's mainly because like these like aimed shots, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but these aim shots, you probably tell what I'm thinking about. Like they kind of have an outline. They kind of blend in behind these spread shots, like the circles they're shooting. So that part we kind of mean on hard mode. It's just a bit ridiculous. Like on hard mode, I actually use my hyper here too on hard mode because they're way denser on hard, and yeah, the overlap is kind of nuts on hard mode. And this is kind of what I meant, where you kind of just have the. Okay, one tip I can give here is you can go to a corner, like if you don't have a hyper, and go see the spread shot. As you can see, like the spread aim shots. See, they're way more open on the right and the left. So you can just go to the left and just tap right and just hope that the openings come to you. If that makes sense. Here I tap left because I'm stupid, but yeah. Now this pattern, the will to power, there's a you want to like I'll show that on hard when it gets to it, but on normal I get a lot of point blank damage in while I can, and I just stick to the block. Now these really like it's like the stage 3 boss. It's got the homing shots, it's got these spread rings from the last phase, and just random like rings. And the best advice I give is just really try and point blank at the start to build up hyper as quickly as possible. And when you're not in doing that, just stick to a corner. Stick to the bottom corner. And use your sword. On hard mode, this is basically just gambling, I won't lie. If you don't have hyper, it's gambling. I don't have hyper here, I'm trying to build up as quickly as possible. They're very dense. And by gambling, I just mean like you just kind of gotta hope the bullets just don't overlap. You can go to the corners and they do spread out a lot more. Here I use my sword here to get rid of them homing shots. But it's just a whole bunch of overlap. Like a bunch of the bullets just like hide under others, and I can really just catch off guard. And here I go right to the corner to dodge that last wave because I've actually lost runs I want to mention I've lost like quite a lot of runs to this TLB on hard mode, and I've actually lost a run to that where I thought it was fine. I thought I got to the end of the phase, and that last homing shot hit me, and I felt like I got so mad. Oh man. But yeah, no, individuation again, it's just quite different. Of course, it's the stage 4 boss, except there's a lot. It's got like the stage 1 like, aimed shots, and like the stage 1 aim shots, and it doesn't have the circle shots like the drones have, and it also has the lasers on the side. Really, just stick to the bottom. That's all you gotta do here. Stick to the bottom and just swing to the side when the sword shots come to you. And of course, it's about to go into Animus Anima. I think that's Latin. And yeah, on hard mode, the shots are faster, but also the aimed sword also keeps its speed, which is really mean. I think it's really not that bad though. Like you can practice TLB in the practice settings, so like this is a part like the first phase is fine because it's just the first boss. The second phase is pretty mean, and the third phase is just utter nonsense. And then this phase it's okay. It's fine. You just want to stick to the bottom. You can't point blank the boss here, otherwise the sword will just kill you. You just want to stick to the bottom here. And you should be fine. You can see that's what I do. And you see, I actually build up my hyper and save it for this part on normal mode. This is where you can see two different things here. On hard mode, you'll see the survival way, and on normal mode, you'll see the scoring way. And this is also something very funny. These rings, there's going to be 2 rings on the left and 2 rings on the right, and they're random. They're always in random locations. They're always in the same like y-axis, but where they are on it is random. So you can get lucky and just like big all disappear at the top, and it's very easy to dodge. But then you can also have them all appear in like all corners, like this, for example, and it's just disastrous. And yeah, this is a very big choke point. I've also look at the left ring here. It's kind of mean unless you go to the very bottom. Like I've also choked a lot of runs on this by losing my chain on this pattern. It's very normal. And I'll show you on hard mode what I do. But as this is about to end, what you can do is, see, I keep my hyper. Normally you're not allowed to shoot during this part, or not allowed to sword or anything, but the hyper forces you to shoot. So you can just keep doing damage quite a bit when you're being hit with the questionnaire. And we'll go to that in a minute, because on hard mode I'll show you what I do here. I didn't even bother. What I do is I play as safe as possible, and I use my hyper to get through the first few rings. And I got lucky with 2 of the rings just being at the very top, so it's very wide when it gets to the bottom. And I got lucky again with 2 rings just being on the top. And you don't have to dodge this last one. It's like a little tease. You can see there's like quite a big health difference between the 2. Actually, there's like 1 question difference, but yeah, you'll see here. But yeah, this question there. The answers don't mean anything. Answer what you want. Like, you'll see here. Show me if I will. Agree or disagree. You just like, the main part is you just want to spam the answers to get as much questions as possible, because each question you answer does damage. You know what? Just to stick along with the theme, I'll also show us in hard mode. I'll show you the hard mode questionnaire. But yeah, there's also, if you spam it quick enough, it'll also repeat the last question, but you just can't answer it. And yeah, the same on hard mode. It's the exact same. It's just nothing special. It's just answer what you like, or you know, spam it for optimization. Oh, but yeah. But yeah, okay, so now we're on to the last phase. This is where, like, not half your score, but a lot of your score will come from this, because we've been getting a lot of score from hypering this boss, and like the 2 phases are very bullet heavy. And this is where like it just gets ridiculous. This is what I mean by like you want to do as much damage as possible. You'll see here. See, and this part is free. The boss will still talk to you, and then you'll get a warning, but you can do lots of damage while it's like doing the whole warning. And you want to point blank and use your sword as much as possible. These drains are already coming out. Don't worry about them. The drains like take like 1,000 points like per half a second. It doesn't really do much when you have like 400 million. But yeah, you can see it. But okay, what we want to do is this boss will fire the same ring shot, right? They're very slow. And you see, you want to slip over that top one, but don't slip too far up because the boss actually has a hitbox. This egg. You don't want to slip into the boss. I've also lost runs to that. You also want to like, if you want to like really min-max the damage here, yeah, you can like hug these like bullets sometimes to like get like a Gray's ATGs off. And what we do is as these bullets get to the middle, I like to hyper or cancel all the bullets. That's a lot of points. And that's when these walls show up. At around 35 seconds, these walls show up, and they're very mean with the bullets, but the hyper cancels the bullets, and see, the boss's health is depleted, and this activates like a score rush mode, where like you want to do as much damage as possible. So like a fever mode or something, right? And you want to just damage the boss as much as possible, but when you access this mode, it also cancels all the bullets on the screen again. So you have a lot of free reign to just do as much damage as possible, like doing it this way. You see, I'm just like, it really depends on damage. You want to point blank them as much as possible, and look at my score counter. Look how much medals you get from this. I use my hyper as the walls are coming to close in on me again. Because of course you don't want to get hit. You want to keep your chain. You want to get as much score as possible. See, I'm about to make a bunch of walls here. I don't even bother. I just hyper. You really want to point blank the boss to build up as much hyper as possible. And then just go right back to just like sorting the boss. And of course another wall's about to come in, but there's a lot less bullets now, so I'm fine. And then the next wave, I don't even have to worry about the bullets anymore. And the score just shoots up all the way to 500 million. And what you can do is, I'll show, I think in hard mode I do it the other way, but in this is, if you have a hyper right as the time runs out, you can do the same thing as I said before, is usually this locks you in this thing, and you can't get any more medals anymore. But you can keep shooting these rings that spawn in, like, and you can kill them like frame 1, and you can get some extra score. It's a bit cheeky. But yeah. We're almost done. It's just for hard mode now. Hard mode, I don't think this part really has like much differences here. It's really just the same thing, like point blank, do as much damage as possible. And I'll also show you at the end, like I don't have a hyper at the end of this. But you can still get some extra points without having a hyper. And I'll show you at the S as well, like you can see it's most of the same. Here I play a lot more safer. I honestly keep my hyper. And I use it here as the walls are closing in. And then I get myself back in position to, and as these bullets are coming in again, you can see there. That's when I activate fever mode. So the bullets cancel again. And yeah. I see I don't go that crazy on hard mode because I really don't want to get hit, but I still get 500 million and my score still absolutely explodes. But yeah. One thing you see here is like as I'm point blank with a sword, you want to don't throw your sword out as you point blank with a sword at the end. Hold your sword out, and then you can throw your sword again right as as you're stuck in this like where you can't do anything, and you can still get some extra medals. It's very you can sneak in some extra score there. But yeah, that's the run. We're at the ending, and since this is arcade mode, the ending has no dialogue. I kind of wish I had dialogue. Because, like, this doesn't affect gameplay at all anymore. We're in, like, I don't know. You know, it's blah, 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 blah. I've been yapping so much this run. It's been really entertaining to yap. Yeah, no. that's the run. And yeah, I don't know. All I can say is I really enjoyed this game. I've put quite some hours into it, and I understand it's quite mixed online and all that stuff, but I feel like when it comes to like the past games I played, and now I mean, my very recent like shmup journey, I don't know. I just like these games. But yeah, no, I'm really happy to make this video, and this game's still new, so like any resource out there, I suppose this video is worth it, even if it's just 90% of me yapping. I hope this is, what do you call it? Understandable even in the slightest. But yeah, no. Happy to share this video, and if you have any if you have any questions in the comments, please ask and I'll respond eventually when I have time. And I hope this video gives more insight on, because this game does have a lot of quirks right now that, of course, I don't think half of them are intended, but they are really fun. Like the whole like keeping the score meter up and all that stuff. It's just not score, sorry, the power up circle, and that's my favorite so far. That I found. You know, hope it gives some insights, and yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoy. It's the end of the video. Right. Do I have any lasting comments? I'm not sure. The credits are cool, I guess. Oh yeah, I want to mention I didn't see his run during my hard mode, but I seen it before the normal mode, so I used his videos to help out this. Like Jamers has done a normal mode run of this game. Definitely check it. I think you can probably figure out a lot of stuff too. I haven't watched it fully myself, to be honest, but I have watched some of it, which I will honestly just watch the parts that I wanted to figure out, which is mostly just where do I get the most points. But yeah. That's all it is. That's all I can really say. I don't know if there's anything else last I mentioned. I feel like there was, but I don't know. But if I remember, I'll put it in the description. Oh yes, YouTube took away like my links and like timestamps and stuff on the videos. Like I can still put like times on the bottom of the video. Look at this. This is a lot more interesting to look at. Like there's like still be like times at the bottom of the video, but like in the description. Sorry, I'm just fried now looking at this much BIRDCAGE. But yeah, it'll be in the description, but there won't be on the title, at least as of making of this. So yeah, see yous.